My mother, she pays rent to the Attendance League, and the receiver and the police, they came to evict her. And they started shooting in the window. And then they came upstairs and they took her away. And when I went to the police station to see her, at first, the man at the desk wouldn't let us see her.
New York, New York, the Big Apple. New York, New York, the Big Apple. New York, New York, the Big 16 million feet. Nationals, Tom McCann's, floor shine, stepping on each other, rejoicing over the death of one nigger toe. Cold, callous feet trotting up and down synthetic avenues, streets, and gardens. Gardens that grow shit. Gardens where putty-faced beings sit emotionlessly admiring bastard flowers. New York, New York. A prerequisite to America, a disguised sin where some brother from that closed southern shit comes to some open northern shit for a vacation. For an opportunity that knocks up sisters and knocks them in the head. For an opportunity that takes him home with dope in the arm and Clairol on the brain. New York, New York. New York, New York. New sameness, new food, same shit. New car, same gas without platformate. New love, same neurosis. New installation, same hoes. New hairdos, same minds. New style, same influence. New York, New York, the Big Apple. Where jive Madam Farmers are running around, shaking hands with all the grassroots people, never getting choked by the grass. New York, New York. Where Queen Liberty 10 shit is standing in the middle of pea green water, telling her brother he's liberated. Statue of Liberty is a prostitute. Yeah, he is liberated from the old Mississippi to the new Mississippi. New York, New York.
We have as much pride as the next guy, in the sense that we are good to fight the wars, we are good to do the dirty work in the factories and the trains and the buses and everything. We are the city. We make the city. We make New York City that way, working in the subways and all that. So we have the right to live, the human right to live wherever we want to live. I came in this building because the city moved me in after the struggle we had with the city, sort of a battle, you know. As you know, there's a problem of housing all through New York City, and the city kept on saying there's no housing. For example, I've been applying for housing project for 20 years. There's always one reason or another I never did get it. So many persons like myself got frustrated, got mad, and we, out of frustration, we make sort of a group, and we start what we call liberating apartments. We took what the city has been denying us, because all this mess about no housing and all this housing problem, it was created by the so-called experts.
I've been telling here for 5 years and a half. And they said they would tried to get us out of here in about 6 months at first. Then they said again in about 2 months. So they hasn't did anything towards right now of getting us out. And there's rats and roaches. There's only 3 families living here, and the rest of the house is full of slum, garbage. And the condition of the house is very bad, no windows. And so I think we are entitled to better living.
Now, the coalition remain no operation moving or anything. It's a coalition. Coalition means about community people, poor people, hardworking people, but with one idea in mind, all together to fight for what is ours.
We are the new Black and Puerto Rican United Front. We're originally squatters of Grace Towers, which are located on Pennsylvania and Pitkin Avenue. We were thrown out of our homes on April the 6th. After 3 weeks of living in unity, working together, organizing our own sanitation department, helping the contractors fill up the building, and just unity among one another. Like we had an open door policy. It was no longer necessary to have 5 to 10 locks on our doors. Every family was related because we all for a set goal, we wanted a decent housing. On April 6th, we were thrown out by 300 policemen. They came in with shotguns, bulletproof vests, helicopter, machine guns. You name it, they had it. From there, we went over to Model City. When that evening, 14 was arrested. We were scattered in the street. Father Powers of Our Lady of Presentation took us in. Right now, we are approximately 28 families, which make up a total of 150 people, roughly 75 kids. 16 families had to be rushed down to St. Mary's Hospital for TB checks. Fortunately, it was proved negative.
I guess we really got involved in this situation when the people came over here the Monday before Easter, and they asked if we would be a sponsor for the building in which they were living. And we were very happy to do that because we realized that if we were going to be the sponsor, then that all these families who had lived together so beautifully as a community in Grace Towers for 3 or 4 weeks could all be able to stay there and to see whether a group of people living together could really form some kind of a commune living. As things developed, all the agreements that were made with the federal government fell through, and when the families were put out of the building, and then a number of them arrested and beaten and left out in the street by the city, they came here to this church, and we welcomed them because we like to think of this church as a little bit different than you ordinarily think of churches. Church really should be a group of people. And what has happened with churches for so many years is that the churches have been buildings, and the buildings have been places where 1 or 2 or 3 people live in these palatial mansions. These rooms up here, each of the rooms where there are now 30 or 40, 50 people living is ordinarily would be a suite for 1 priest, and it's just ridiculous in this era, in this day and age, that people still live this way, but that's the way most rectories are still run. People from all over the city have sent food from organizations which are religious and non-religious, and just all parts of the city, people send food here. The reaction of the city again was to send the fire department in, who put a vacate on the building, and then last week we got the city's building department came in and put another vacate, a forthwith vacate, to try to put the people out. And it just appears that the city is incapable of dealing with just ordinary people.
A community bazaar to raise money for Anderson Avenue Defense Fund due to the fact that 7 brothers and sisters was arrested from an incident that occurred on April 7th, 1972 on the premises. We don't see why there's a reason for 137 policemen to come in, shoot into our windows, tear gas into our homes where there's children. Someone could have been hurt very seriously over a minor eviction. We pleaded with the landlord on several occasions about making repairs, removing violations on the buildings. We contacted several officials from New York City Housing. We contacted the mayor, the New York Times, and several other officials. And after we didn't get any help, we therefore went on a rent strike, held the money in escrow, and a year later, we started making repairs. Our ultimate goal was decent housing, and these are the things that the people wanted, and therefore we had to no other choice than to make the repairs, necessary repairs ourselves for survival.
But it was real cold, just about in March, I think it was, when we had this flood in the house. Water running over in the bathroom, like the city bathroom, and the conditioned bathroom is now. The bathroom was, the whole top was coming out the bathroom, and the water was running down, and we all had to get up in the close corner. We have no enough to even sleep because so much water was running down. And we went down and asked the social worker to give us an apartment. They said they couldn't do it. And I took the kids down welfare center. One day I took them all down there. I asked them could they help me. To get out of this place here because they said no, they couldn't do it. So bring the kids back home there and try to look for another place. Now when I found a place, they wouldn't give it to me. They say they didn't want us to stay down here in Brownsville station. So we came on back. I brought the kids back and I took them down there again because the place was so cold in here. And then they said if we get a place out in Brownsville, they give it to us. Stay in the cold, I guess for a whole month. And I went to school. The teacher asked me why I didn't send this kid to school. And I told her why I didn't send him to school. It was so cold in the house, I couldn't send him. So they said they don't understand it. Most all the month, these kids been out of school. And none of them been in school.
What we're trying to do is express to the community that decent housing is a must. And slumlords who come in and take rent monies from tenants must stop when they don't make repairs. We don't mind paying rent if we're getting our services. But if we're not getting any services, we don't see why we should pay rent.
I pay about $230 a month. This year I asked him to fix this out. He got a stove. He hasn't got that freezer. He didn't get that. He hasn't got anything I told him to get.
We feel that we have done what is right, just not only for ourselves, but for the children who also live in the building. We have children in these buildings who have suffered throughout the winter months without heat and hot water. And some have been sick, caught pneumonia, and other serious things have happened. So we feel that what we've done is right and just, and that we're not going to turn around. We're going to keep on fighting for decent housing.
Even before they brought the middle class here, they made grounds for the middle class to be happy in the area. That's the Lincoln Center, where, you know, a whole bunch of families were just displaced to create that thing there. The families that were displaced were black and Puerto Ricans, mostly Puerto Ricans. It's basically for white Americans, entertainment, opera and stuff like that. That what people don't relate to, is not part of our culture. Yet our people were the ones that were thrown out of there. And then in this area, 9,000 families were displaced. Those families are not back. Those families have no chance to coming back. The people are very, very, very angry. The people just went into the streets again, demanding that their case would be heard and that the government would stop playing games with them. So as you see, it's a question it's affecting us, and it's going to keep on affecting everyone. People got even more angry and started burning garbage in the middle of the street. And they're demanding that the city will at least listen to the position that they had. The thing is very shaky. On one hand, you have a city reluctant to fix a building and to listen to the people's demands. On the other hand, you have a group of people ready to, as they stated it, to die for their rights. And the situation is very, very explosive. And anything can happen there.
And like I tell all my friends, their battle is not finished yet.
If we have to fight, we're going to fight.
It is a must. It's one of the necessities of life is shelter. And we just don't mean a roof over our head and rats and roaches running around all over the place and ceilings falling. We mean a place that's decent for all mankind to live in.